How do you deal with everyday problem? Because these problems are endless. There are problems all over the world. We have our individual problems. We have societal issues. We have global problems. There are problems that are peculiar to a particular country, thus affecting only residents and citizens of that country. There are problems that are transported from one country to the other through tourism and socialization. So, darling, whichever way you look at it, there's always going to be a problem. Problems are elements of our lives. They are inevitable elements of life and components of our growth. Yes, because problems strengthen our inner character. Problems lend us new perspectives. Problems teach us how to appreciate life or appreciate good things. Yes, there is a purpose for problems, but there are also problems that you can avoid. So today I want to talk about how we can navigate our lives amidst all of these problems. Yes, darlings, because the problems are not going to end. They're endless. I talk about these issues all the time. Have you picked up my book? It's all about you. I address these issues in this book. It's all about you and the depths of life. Yes. And you can buy the hard copies from Amazon, and the electronic copies you can download from my website, Eeefy.com. 3E's FY.com, EEEFY.com. The intention is to inspire you. The intention is to provoke you to think about what really matters, to think about your life, how to take care of yourself, how to be independent, how to be self-reliant, how to pursue your good goals, how to live a purposeful life, how to build your positive self-esteem, how to develop emotional maturity, how to fall in love with yourself. The intention is to encourage you to find a path to your own healing. So today I want to focus on how to navigate your life around or amidst all of these problems that we're dealing in the world today. Now is the war in Ukraine, Russia and Ukraine. Tomorrow there's going to be something else. There's always going to be a problem. Whether it's a personal problem, societal problem, global issues, problems you encounter through tourism, there's always going to be a problem. How do you live a peaceful life? How do you pursue your good goals? How do you focus on building your life, on developing yourself when you have to encounter or deal with all of these problems? That's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, I think the first thing you need to do is to discover yourself, discover who you are. This is what I had to do. As a survivor, I went through depression, I went through anxiety attacks, I went through fear, name it. I went through it all. Pain, sorrow, rejection, condemnation, thinking about death, praying for death, suicidal thoughts, attempt to suicide. I went through it all. Homelessness, hunger, I went through it all. So how did I learn to take care of myself? I realized that problems are endless. I realized that no matter where you turn, there's always going to be some type of problem, because problems are inevitable. They are endless. But how do I navigate my life around these problems? I asked myself. First thing, I had to understand who I am, my strengths, my weaknesses, my temperament, my biological makeup, my body chemistry. Yes, I had to understand these things, because one thing I know is that I'm somebody that when I worry too much, I begin to feel chest pain. Oh yes, I had to understand my body chemistry. I begin to feel chest pain whenever I worry too much. It doesn't matter what I'm worrying about. When I worry too much, I feel chest pain and I have to hold on to my chest like, oh my goodness, I'm feeling pain. I can't take it anymore. I learned that about myself. So now I control how I allow things affect me. I control my emotions because I know that I don't want that chest pain. It's not pretty. It's not a good feeling. I know that. And I know nobody else can help me with that but myself. And I have to control how I feel, how I react to things. So what I do, if it's someone that causes me too much headache, I cut them off or I avoid talking to them. It doesn't even matter if it's a family member. I just avoid them on the phone because I know that I'm going to be visited with that chest pain. That yes, that whatever it is they're saying or doing is going to cause me to worry to the extent where I will feel chest pain. And in order to avoid that chest pain, I avoid this very family member or I avoid this very person. I avoid their phone calls. I avoid conversations with them because I don't want to have chest pain. If it is something that I'm doing, a habit that causes me chest pain, I stopped it because I don't want that chest pain. Because we all know what could happen. That could, deteriorate into something worse, something ugly like heart attack. So no, darling, if he's not trying to have heart attack. So I avoid the people that cause me chest pain, that cause me to worry to the extent where I start feeling chest pain. I avoid things that will cause me chest pain. You have to understand who you are. You have to know what you can handle and what you can't handle. I know I discovered all of that about myself. So now I know how to handle problems better. Whether they are personal problems, societal problems, global issues, I know how to deal with them accordingly because I don't want chest pain. Now, this is what you ought to do as well for yourself. You need to understand your body chemistry, your biological makeup, who you are, what you can handle, what you can't handle, your temperament, your emotions. You have to understand who you are. Self-awareness, it's very important to dealing with problems, no matter what the problems are. You have to know who you are. A lot of us go on social media. We consume all of those negative videos, negative stories, negative articles. And then we go crazy. We internalize them. We go crazy because not only do we consume and absorb and process, we actually internalize them. And then they take their effect on our lives, thereby taking a toll on our health. Be cautious. Be intentional. Be deliberate about what you consume on social media, about what you consume on the news out there. There's always going to be some type of negative news. It is part of life. Whether it's on television, on social media, people you meet along your way, somebody is always going to tell you a negative story. There's always going to be a negative news. There's always going to be a war somewhere. There's always going to be trafficking and prostitution and robbery and kidnapping and rape. There's always going to be a negative news. Yes, feel empathy. But do not internalize all of this negative news because they're going to take a toll on your life. There's going to be consequences, darling. I learned that much. You've got to be careful. You have to be intentional and deliberate when you sign on to that social media account. What are you going there for? Are you going there to promote your business? Are you going there to chat with friends, close friends, family members? Or are you just going out there to consume everything you see on news feed? And then go crazy. And then complain and then worry. And then, just subject yourself to unnecessary panic attacks, to unnecessary anxiety, attacks to unnecessary worry, to unnecessary depression, or unnecessary fear. Oh, yes. All of these negative articles and videos that we watch and we listen to, they affect us greatly. But if you know who you are and have control over your emotions, then you can control how these news can affect you. If you don't know who you are, my darlings, you are vulnerable to the grave effects of negative news. Those news will plunge your soul into darkness. The darkness of depression, the darkness of anxiety attacks, the darkness of fear, the darkness of sorrow. Be cautious of what you consume out there. Be cautious. You must be deliberate. You must be intentional about what you consume. But the only way you can achieve that is knowing who you are. Who are you? Do you understand yourself? Do you understand your body chemistry like Eeefy does? Yes, I know I can't take the pain. I can't take too much worry because I will have chest pain. So I avoid it. I also indulge in activities that keep me calm. I go to the spa, steam room, sauna, jade room, salt room, oxygen room, name it. I made the spa part of my lifestyle. In fact, a major part of my lifestyle. I love to live underwater. I love to look at the water when I wake up because it keeps me calm. I love to promote love and laughter in my relationship because it keeps me calm. It keeps me happy and healthy. Yes, I chose a mate that loves and respects me and vice versa. Not about convenience, but about love and respect. Because it has a great deal of effect on my emotions, on how I feel every day, on how I confront life, on how I address issues, or how I address the endless problems that we encounter in our daily lives. What kind of relationship are you cultivating? What kind of marriage are you in? Who are you courting? Who are you dating? Who are you interacting with? Who are you associating with? These people have a great effect on your emotions. They play a major role in your life, in your life's journey. They can dictate how you feel on a day-to-day basis. It's very important that you are intentional and deliberate on what you do, with what you do with your life, with your friendships, with your career, with your interactions, with your socialization. Be intentional and deliberate. It's very important. How can you navigate your life with ease when there are endless problems in the world? Avoid the negative news. Yes, there's war somewhere. Yes, there's problems somewhere in the world, all over the place, all around us. Can you solve them? Will your worry and depression and fear and sorrow solve these problems? No, they wouldn't. Learn to see the problems for what they are and keep it moving. Where you can lend your voice, lend your voice. Where you can do something to help, to make an impact, then do so accordingly. But make sure that you learn to take care of your heart, your mind, your soul, your body. You learn to filter the negative stories out there. Stories that you cannot control their effects. Stories that you can't help. You can't change. Learn to control how they affect you. Learn to filter the stories. Learn to sift these negative stories. Learn to promote positivity around your environment, in your home, in your vicinity, learn to filter negative news. You can't solve all the problems. You have your own personal problems to solve. Your personal problems need your money, need your energy, needs your attention. Do not disperse it trying to fix problem of the world that you cannot fix. Do not disperse the attention, the money, the energy that you need to solve your personal problems or family problems. Do not disperse it trying to chase the wind, worrying about problems of the world that you cannot fix. Worrying to the extent where you are plunged into darkness of depression, darkness of anxiety attack. Do you know that depression can drive you to suicidal thoughts? Yes, it can actually provoke you to thinking about suicide. Depression can provoke you to thinking about negative things. Yes, depression drives suicide. Anxiety attacks can cause you to think about suicide, about committing suicide. Anxiety attacks and depression can distort your judgment and cause you to think about things that are abominable, things that are destructive, things that will deter your success in life, impede your progress, and hamper your happiness. Be intentional and be deliberate about your actions on social media. Be intentional and be deliberate about your actions towards yourself, about how you think about yourself and what you do for yourself and around you. You cannot solve all life's problems. You cannot even solve all your personal problems. Understand that. Knowing that problems are inevitable components of life should encourage us to learn how to address problems more effectively. Knowing this factual truth should inspire us to take care of ourselves and learn to deal with our own problems more effectively. You can't change the world by worrying. You can't change the problems out there. You can't stop the problems by worrying. But you can change the effects they have on you if you understand who you are and how you react. If you understand your weaknesses and your strengths and your body chemistry and your biological makeup, then you can learn to control the effects these problems have on you and your journey of life. Learn who you are. Self-awareness is the first step to dealing with problems more effectively. Self-awareness, knowing who you are, will help you to navigate your life with ease, will help you to learn, will help you to deal with problems more effectively. We have to learn how to deal with problems in our daily lives, because guess what, darling? Problems are endless. They are inevitable. There are problems you can avoid. Learn to avoid them. Understanding who you are will help you to avoid those problems that are avoidable. Understanding who you are will help you to learn how to deal more effectively with problems that are inevitable, so that you can avoid depression, so that you can avoid anxiety attacks, so that you can avoid excessive worry, so that you can avoid unnecessary confusions. Learn who you are. Please, darlings, it is very critical. It's important that you understand who you are so that you can learn how to deal with problems, so that you can learn how to avoid unnecessary problems from social media. Yes, a lot of the problems that a lot of people that are dealing with depression and anxiety are dealing with these things because of social media. Yes, social media. Social media has taken control over our lives. Take your power back from social media. That's my topic for next week. I love you. Remember, it's all about you. The depths of life, they address these issues and how you can navigate your life with ease, how you can promote love within and around you, how you can pursue your goals, how you can live a purposeful life, how you can cultivate healthy relationships with your spouse, with your mate, with your parents, with your children, with your siblings, with your friends, how you can socialize in a more healthy way, in a way that even your friends will not cause you depression, unnecessary depression and worry, loss of force. Many people are suffering from depression because of their friendships, because of their social lives. Yes. Pick up the books. Amazon for hard copy. For electronic downloads, you can visit my website, eeefy.com, 3eesfy.com. The intention is to inspire you. The intention is to help you navigate your life with ease. The intention is to encourage you. The intention is to provoke your thoughts so that you can think about what really matters in your life, so that you can worry less or completely, avoid excessive worry. See you next week.